Hi, welcome to another The Rubbish FPL Player video, something a bit different. Today, this video, not directly talking about FPL, although I may talk about it a little bit later, but main news is Ruben Amorim has been sacked as United manager, which is, although the recent results haven't been fantastic, we are, at the end of the day, 6th place, 3 points from the top 4, and well, there we go. I thought if he was going to be sacked, it would have been around 10 when we lost to Grimsby or something like that. So he's been sacked as United manager. 63 games he was in charge, 25 wins, 15 draws, 23 losses. So won less than half the games in charge. But it's United for the past sort of 12 years. The cycle begins again. One reason I think it's a bit odd timing, as well as being 6th, and many issues and stuff like that. But we've got so many players out at the moment, key players, our best players. Mbumo, Ahmad, Mazari, or Afcon. Obviously, Mbumo and Ahmad have been some of our couple of our best players this season. And obviously at the moment we're missing Bruno and Mount's out, who's been good for us and important for us. Delete, Mainu's out, of course. Not that he's been playing, but he would have been an option. Maguire's out, and yeah, so the team's missing some key players. Any team would miss those players. We're missing a lot of creativity. So why was Amorim sacked now? I think it's been happening for, recently now. It seems like the relationship between Amorim and the board, the club, seems to have broken down. There's more tension. There's rumours that his relationship with director of football, Jason Wilcox, has sort of, there's a lot of tension that's broken there. And maybe that press conference, the post and the pre, I think he did too, same sort of things, was the tipping point. And him saying he wants more involvement, not just, he's not head coach, he's wants to be the manager. So the on the field stuff, but also with recruitment and all that sort of stuff. And it seems like he's not getting what he wants. It seems like you could argue the board want more of a yes man, and Amorim's not that. Obviously, the results overall haven't been great, as I said, but we're still safe. There was even talk not long ago that have United turn the corner, light at the end of the tunnel. I think it was said sort of in jest, but there were signs. But I think it was more maybe we're approaching the corner, or we're at the toll for the tunnel, and there was a chance we won't make the corner, or we wouldn't have money for the toll, and yeah, there we go. But what now for United? It's Darren Fletcher is going to be the manager against Burnley. After that, who knows? It's unlikely that he'll get a full-time job, I would have thought, or even to the end of the season, since, well, he's never managed the senior team. He's only involved in the United Academy, so he managed the under-16, the latest is under-18s. He has been the first team coach, and so we'll see. But if he is the manager to the end of the season, what does that mean for FPL? Looking online, I'll be honest, I've not really watched, if any, under-18 teams matches. So, but looking online, his style, his preferred formation apparently is 4-2-3-1. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean for Burnley it will be a 4-2-3-1 or 4 back or anything like that. He may go back, sit with what the players sort of know, with 3 at the back, and obviously in under-18, it is all about the players they got available and so on. But maybe it's more likely that his son Jack Fletcher will be involved. since he's already had some minutes, so he could maybe start. Depends who's available. His other son, Tyler, who's actually Jack's twin, he's had 0 minutes with the senior team, so don't see that happening. Involved at all, unless we've got no players at all, and he might put him on the bench. But hopefully against Burnley, although it's only on Wednesday, so a couple of days' time, the talk was that Bruno and Mount were close to being back. They'd get some minutes. Doesn't mean they'll start, doesn't mean they'll even come on a sub, but I think if there's a chance, Bruno could well start because it's Bruno. Mount, I think on the bench and come on, but we'll see. As for the next manager for United, if it's not Fletcher, looking at the bookies odds and his favourite and so on, Glasner's the favourite, and that's followed by Southgate and Poch, Emery, Xavi, Areola, Zidane. Now, Glasner did a good job at Palace, and whether he will be happy to work under the conditions at United with the board and the moment and all that sort of stuff, we'll see. He obviously played free at the back, so it'll continue. Things will continue. Maybe how are they going? Maybe the players aren't happy with that, but maybe he's more flexible. We'll see. If Southgate next, I know loads of people dislike him and how he did for England and so on. I personally thought he did a good job, to a couple of finals and a semi-final. A lot of people sort of have a go at him for we had lots of good players. We did well, sort of because of the players, more him, and it was pretty boring football and very defensive, which I won't disagree about being defensive and a bit boring, but I always think that, he got us to 2 finals and we had managers like Sven and Rodgers and McLaren and whatever you think of McLaren, but some good managers there, but also they had some good players under them, sat London, like Rooney, Rio, Gerrard, Lampard, Michael Owen, Ashley Cole, all those sorts of players, John Terry. So some of the best players in the Premier League that played, but they didn't get to. I think they definitely didn't get to final. Don't think they even got to semi-final. But I think Sven got to 3 quarter-finals, and obviously some of those managers didn't qualify for a major, and some got knocked out of the round of 16, maybe even the group stages. So, but who it'll be, I don't know. My preferred option personally, I don't know now, because it's just United. It's just like another new manager. The cycle begins, as I said. It'll be the same thing until I don't know. We will see. So let's just see how it is against Burnley. Hopefully we beat Burnley, get some points. I think we could even go up to 5th or 4th, depending how results go. But we'll see. But just going back to Amorim, he's sacked now. It's done. End of a chapter. But I personally sort of liked him. Maybe wasn't the most important thing, that you just like the manager. It's all about the results. And would you prefer a manager who was a bit of an idiot, but you won everything? So maybe a bit of both. But I liked him. I sort of believed in sort of what he said and what he wanted to do, and sort of the changes. And obviously he got rid of some of the sort of toxic players you would call, and maybe a bad influence in the dressing room, players like Sancho, obviously, and Rashford, but I disagreed with him certain things, sort of like his tactic and formation, and obviously 3 at the back. Well, nothing wrong with 3 at the back as a formation, but it's all about having the right players to do that, and clearly he didn't have the right players for that. and to play that formation. And he seemed to say that at the end of last season that maybe he doesn't have the right players for three at the back. They're more suited for this. That's how I played. Even obviously after that, he famously said even the Pope couldn't make him change. But he said that, and then obviously against Newcastle, played four at the back. We were overall good. I think in particular the first half. Dorgu had his best game for United. And I was like, oh, right, okay, that's good. Maybe he'll stick with that. But then after that, he went back to three at the back. And it's been less convincing with games like against Wolves and then yesterday against Leeds, where at least points weren't dropped. But it was, yeah, there we go. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I think he wanted to fix United and wanted more control over various things at the club, but that wasn't going to happen. So we will see what comes next. Anyway, something a bit different than just FBL, more about United, so, and Amorim. So we'll see how this video does. Okay, see it, bye.